Hey, it's Meg. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a check-in for the Junk Journal July challenge. So I'm going to show you all the pages that I've created for the first 7 days of the challenge, because I know that I haven't shared a process video on YouTube for all of the prompts, but I have been posting them over on Instagram. So if you are interested in keeping up with them real time, then make sure you're following me over on Instagram. And I'll just mention as well, to keep my accordion journal nice and secure when I'm not using it, I've just added this random piece of string. I just punched a hole here and it just keeps everything nice and together. So in my front cover, I just popped the prompt list onto some card just so that I've got it to hand every day. And I don't have to worry about going and searching for what the prompt is. I've then got a little collage here. It was kind of like a little motivational thing almost, a kind of, you've got this, you can do this for the month. That was the kind of mentality behind that. And then the first prompt was welcome. So I did an introduction page here with a beautiful floral image, and then just a collage cluster just with obviously the date, and then a new beginning, so a little quote that kind of fit with the prompt. Nice and simple. And I just added a little tab here that was a scrap of scrapbook paper that I had. It was literally just floating around on my desk, and I just decided to just staple it in here. And this is actually an envelope that I tipped in. I just removed the little flap and then taped it in with some washi tape. Added a collage here just so that it wasn't so plain, because I know it's brown but I didn't want it to be completely plain. And then I added just some journaling in here, and then also on a tag that I just made with some scrap papers, just stamped the date and just some hidden journaling there, just so that it's not getting in the way too much of my journal, but I did want to do a bit of writing for that day. Day 2 was highlights, and I know from you guys, I had a few comments, people were a little unsure what to do with this prompt. I took this as highlights of my day, and I also highlighted something in my journal page using a little window from a junk mail envelope, which you can't really tell that that's what it is because I kind of decorated it, tea stained it and collaged it, but I still kept that little window there to kind of highlight an aspect of the page. So a little bit on the abstract side, but I just wrote highlights from today and did a bit of journaling down the side. I stuck this label on the front, and then I realized, obviously because this is a window, you could also see on the back. So what I did is cut something that is the same size for the back, and then matched them up so you can't actually see the label, which I think looks quite nice, gives a nice effect. And then I just wrote a quote down here with my Tombow marker, and also put at a glance, which is kind of another play on highlight. And what I will say is not all of the prompts are so straightforward. Like, I kind of wanted to give you something that, you know, you could push yourself with and challenge you to think outside of the box, which I definitely saw in the hashtag. I know people came up with some really great interpretations of all these different prompts. So like I said, if you get to a prompt and it doesn't speak to you, or you're not sure what to do, then you can definitely you know, skip a day, move on to another one, or even just improvise and do something by yourself. You don't have to stick to the prompt if it's not something that's inspiring you. Day 3 I know was a favourite for everyone, so this was botanicals. And I just kept it really simple because I found this beautiful image in an old book, and I just wanted to highlight this really. So this was a super quick page, didn't take me long at all. So this is an example of a page that, you know, you can fit in, I think it was about 10-15 minutes max, and most of that was cutting out the image and kind of fussing around with where I wanted to place things. I probably could have done it a lot quicker had I not decided to intricately fussy cut this image, but I think it's a nice effect, so I really liked that page. Day 4, and you can see here, this is how the journal's starting to look as an accordion, and I think it looks really cool like this. So we'll just move along to day 4 here. Day 4 was details, and I know this is only day 4, but this is one of my favourite pages in the journal so far. So I played around with obviously this quote reference details and the details in kind of like the coffee stain and the different imagery that I was choosing, really honing in on the small details, which in an A6, when everything kind of looks so large because the journal's so small, that was quite interesting to play with. So yeah, I really liked that spread. And I had a question from someone whether I've been working sequentially in my journal or whether I've been mixing it up based on the prompt. And I think just because of this accordion style, I'm really enjoying just working like back to back, because then I can do this with the journal and you can just see how things run across, and I just think it's a really cool look. So you can just see there how things kind of bleed in, and I've put coffee over like 2 different pages so that they blend together, but then they also, you know, sit nicely if you just had the journal page like on its own as well. It sits really nice. I just think that effect of having a longer space to work on is really nice. So this is day 5, and this page is all about the things that I like about using vintage elements within my journal. So I wanted to include this prompt, so if you don't already include vintage stuff in your journal, which I know a lot of you do, but if you don't, then it was an opportunity to explore that. And if you already do, like I do, I took this as a way of just reflecting on the things that I like about using vintage materials in my books. So you can see here, this is from the front cover of an old book that someone had written their name in. Different writing in pens and pencils. I really love finding little notes in books or things that have been tucked in between the pages, all the different like textures and fonts and tones of the paper I absolutely love. So that is what I did this page about, and coffee on this page as well, because I'd really liked how it had turned out in this page, that I just decided to do it again. And I really like how these 2 pages actually sit together. I think the colour story really matches. So yeah, I really liked this page, and this page probably was about half an hour. That's typically what I'm spending on the pages, give or take. Apart from this one, this was a bit quicker, but usually about half an hour-ish. This one was probably a bit longer actually, but I recorded it and talked through the process, so that tends to slow me down. Whereas if I've just got like a YouTube video on, or like Netflix or something as I'm journaling, then it's a little bit quicker because I'm not talking and distracting myself. So yeah, about half an hour-ish. Then day 6 was minimalist, and again I carried over the coffee, and without this tag on the page you can see that this is actually fairly minimalist. I mean, there's nothing on this side of the page, and I just did a collage sort of within a corner to focus where my elements were. So this probably could have been maybe more minimalist, but compared to the previous day's pages, this is pretty plain in comparison. So I just added a rub-on sticker to a receipt, did a little bit of decorating, some splatters with white paint, and then I wanted to add writing, but I didn't really want it to be seen. So I just took one of the tags that I'd created the other day. So it was kind of minimalist in the sense as well that I hadn't done this on that day, so it was kind of reducing the amount of time this spread took. Like, there's barely anything on it, so it didn't take me that long at all. And I just paper clipped this on with a rose gold paper clip, added the date, and then on the reverse of this tag there's just lots of writing, just with a brown fine liner. So that was day 6 for minimalism. And then this was day 7. So the prompt was envelope, so a much more straightforward prompt for today. But I really struggled with this page, I'll be honest with you. It was taking me a while to get going, wasn't quite sure what I was going to do. I knew I had this, I think it's vellum or glassine envelope that I really wanted to use. So you can see here I've just put some paper in here ready to do some journaling. So I knew I wanted to use this, but I didn't know whether I wanted it stuck on the page or maybe tipped in. and I just couldn't get into my groove with this page, if I'm honest. So I don't think it's turned out too badly, but definitely an example of working through something. And you know, if you've created a page for this challenge and you're not so keen on it, then you just turn over and we will do tomorrow's prompt. That was kind of my mindset once I'd kind of faffed around with papers for too long. I was like, you know what, I'm kind of over analysing this, let's just pop on some little rub-on stickers, some imagery, get a quote from Pinterest, and we'll call it a day. But yeah, I don't think it turned out too badly, but I did add more coffee. And as I'm going through this journal, I'm thinking that this is kind of becoming the style of the journal. So you can see at the beginning, it does match. I'm not going to say it doesn't match, but I went back and added this coffee once I'd started adding it later in the journal. And so as I've been playing in it for the first few days, I was things were a little bit disjointed, didn't really match up probably as much as I wanted them to. But you can see as I found my groove in the journal this week, then a kind of style has emerged, especially with this accordion style journal, and I'm really loving working in this so far. So let me know how you're going with these prompts so far, which one has been your favourite, which ones maybe haven't been your favourite. And yeah, I really hope you're enjoying the challenge as much as I am. I will probably pop in with a checkup next week to show you the pages that I have created. But I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day wherever you are, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.